All right, I think I understand, but I'm saying it's so serious that I was just trying to collect my thoughts. I mean, what I okay? Is it that you am I getting it wrong? It's hard to think what to say when you have to compete with the fact that they are airing this kind of programming nonstop. It's hard to think of how do you explain like the idea behind all these programs. I mean, is the idea is and people say the government is the problem. There's the basic premise of all these discussions. Which way they talk about doesn't matter. That the government is a problem in and of itself. It's the problem. It's causing problems. It's the problem is the government. That's what the topic is. All the time. Big government and then government doesn't work and get. I mean, it's endless. But the idea being that there's something wrong, that there's just nothing good about the government. Okay, that's in people's minds. It is. It really is. Um. Okay. It's not just that it's not accurate, but for people to think that we mentioned one reason, which is not as it's a tragedy, but it's not the catastrophic problem with this, which is that if people didn't that we need that how we build our economy, the markets grow and wages go up, and we have a full economy has to do with the dynamic state sector. But that's a tragedy. The one that's a catastrophe, okay, is that the only way out of the situations we're in. First of all, it's unreal in the sense that government's actually powerless at this time for a variety of reasons because of what's taking place. You can watch the other videos. The government is like almost powerless to do anything about a bunch of things. But here's the thing: if everyone becomes aware of the catastrophic problems taking place, the only thing we have do have access to and can work to stop the most incredible harmful things from happening to all of us and other places is the government. The fact is the population is uneducated, miseducated, doesn't seek out information that's accurate. We have a branch of the legislators are apparently think they're just empty suits at this point. Okay, but were that not to be the case, do we have serious intelligent people in our Congress if the population was educated in the universities to understand the situation in the country and with the economy and with other nations? Okay, the government is the place that people can ask for what they want, and it takes place because the majority wants it. If they keep banging into people's heads that the government is simply just the cause of problems, everything's going to get worse in a variety of ways. But I mean, to keep telling people this, it actually doesn't serve any point, but it's nonstop dialogue about government, which is like the problem. I mean, but it's all unreal, but it's dangerous in the sense that if we could get the main problem is getting it to function properly by all being aware of what the actual solutions are to things and having legislators that would put them into action. They do represent us, but the whole population is sort of not made aware of why things are happening or what is happening, and the legislators are like all they're doing is sort of playing games and looking for the president's birth certificate or something at the whole Congress. But we have to get it functional, have people educated about what's taking place in a variety of ways, and then the government is actually the one place the citizens can get something done. There's no other way to do it, to make changes in the way things are. The only way to do it is through government. Were it not for government, we'd have no options. Okay, here's the thing: the fact that it's nonstop, that people are growing up and thinking like, yeah, all I know is the government is a problem. I don't know why they do it though. It doesn't necessarily serve its corporations to do that. It does, and it doesn't. I think but if I had to guess, that's maybe how it started, this nonsense. But I mean, it may be also that they win elections. The Republicans win elections on this, see what the government does issue. I mean, but it's the stakes are. It's too serious for everyone to be lying. I mean, it's too serious to just let everyone lie and say, yeah, they're always saying this, but it's not true. Then I mean, we've got to get people to stop telling the population something untrue about what the government is and what government is generally, um, because all it is right now is powerless and not functioning. But were it to be that way, we could make all the changes that would change everything by we're a free. That's the point of having a democracy. It's as though that in a democracy, the reason the democracy works is the government. I mean, I don't know what this is, but it has to stop. The problems that are happening are so severe, and we need a functional government so we can stop it. But without the government, we have no options. Um, but no, I mean, if people just if they're busy thinking the government itself is a problem, this stuff induces such thought disorders with regard to reality that I actually don't know how to talk to people about this. I'm not doing a good job right now, and I wish I'm not. I'd love to see what other people have come to as far as trying to unwind this kind of thing. That it's so out of touch with reality, but the fact that it's nonstop that they say these things, and they're putting it in the minds of everyone. But I don't know what to do. I wish I knew more about how to word it correctly to explain to people the way in which they're being deceived, and the harm it can cause in the future if it doesn't stop. But also, being part of the frustration is knowing that this has gone on for the entire time I've been alive. This has been this dialogue about the government. It's impossible to break through. It's been going on so long. It's in the heads of of people from the 60s generation. They passed it down to their kids. People think the government is actually it's blocking people from being able to talk about the reality, which is that it's not functioning properly. Then again, there was a government founded on having an informed population, who's now being intentionally sort of miseducated in the universities. There's so many different problems that you sound like a philosopher trying to discuss it. I mean, it's coming from so many angles. There needs to be some kind of movement of people who live in reality, but where we're gonna find them, I don't know. This is for people who are concerned about this. It's we feel terrible, is what it is. Like that guy when I called up that guy, when I met those people I'm not in it, but as the older generation, that LaRouche movement. Guy called me up. I said, "Oh, how are you doing?" He said, Did I want to go to a meeting?" I said, "How are you doing?" He said, "I I feel terrible. I just feel terrible about what's happening." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." I mean, it was they go. He just said, "I just feel terrible," and that's the only thing I can say either. Like, I feel terrible this is happening, but like, don't. It's too many different things contributing to it. But the only thing to do is like to just say, like, honestly, like persons like me, like, and a lot of people just feel awful about this. Is the truth.